Good morning, good morning. We're live on Monday morning. It is snowing outside. I am Ronnie Haskins. This is Auto Search USA, Colorado Springs, and I am here to talk to you today about 5 steps to planning your dream car. I'll give it a minute for some people to check in. I've been thinking about this, as a matter of fact, on the way to work today, driving through the snow, I was thinking about how I think and what I think is important for people. Like when I'm talking about, people have heard me say this, like you don't need a dream car, right? And sometimes people look back at me and they're like, but I want a dream car. And I'm like, oh man, what do I do? What do I do? So listen, if that's your goal in life to have a dream car, and just because you don't do it the way I want you to do it, that's okay. So I figured, why don't I talk about how to plan your next dream car instead of telling people all the time that you don't need a dream car. Because as someone told me today, I'm not everybody's dad. I only have 2 kids, and right now I'll be able to tell them they can't have a dream car. But you know what? You're going to do stuff. We are going to do stuff, whether we read this book, that book. This particular advisor says we should do it his way, and in the end, the choice is yours. You are available and able to do things the way you want to do them when you want to do them. So I thought to myself, how can I help add value to your life when it comes to this elusive dream car? If I think it's wasted money, I think we don't need it, I think it's horrible, I think your car's good enough. I'm not you, and so I should let you make decisions for yourself. But what I can do, and my goal that I've written down, my goal is to improve your financial future, and I use the auto industry to do that. So I've been doing this for 23 years. My name is Ronnie Haskins, if you don't know me, and I've been selling cars and growing my business for the last 20 years here in Colorado Springs. And my goal internally is to help you make good decisions about buying cars, buying that dream car, that vacation car, whatever the case may be, but doing it the right way. And so I came up with this idea today to talk about 5 steps to purchasing your dream car. And hopefully this will help you. You can share it with your friends. They can get these ideas and help raise their financial literacy when it comes to spending money on cars, because cars impact your life for quite some time and your pocketbook. So let's dive right into it. So right now, the first thing I would have you do if I was advising you and I was telling you to plan your dream car is I would tell you to do not do it impulsively. So many times I talk to people and we end up purchasing a car, which is the second largest purchase we make in our life. We purchase that car within the span of 4 hours. So within about 4 hours, we go to a dealership, we pick out a car, we pick out a color, and before you know it, we're driving home and posting it on Facebook that we got our dream car. So I would urge you to put some thought into it. As you're looking at your car in the snow today and you're complaining that it's too cold and you don't have heated seats and things of that nature, start jotting those things down and planning what you want in your next car. That way we can start looking at how much that stuff's going to cost you and we can budget for it. So remember that. The first thing, do not do this impulsively. Make sure there's some thought that goes into it. And that way when you make that decision and pull that trigger, you'll feel really good about it. Now, most people purchase a car from inception of the thought in their mind to completing the transaction in 72 real hours. So think about that as your baseline. Like 72 hours is like normal, industry-wide. People think about buying a car and they're in that new car within 72 hours. So I want you to think about this for at least 2 weeks. So I don't know how many hours that is. Fact checkers can put it in the comments box, but 14 days. So we're talking not cutting off the weekends because people buy cars on the weekends. So Monday through Sunday, let's think about this and let's write down these notes to help us in this major purchase in our lives. So, all right. First thing was don't do it impulsively. We're going to give it 2 weeks. We're going to plan this out. We're going to make sure that we're making the right decision. Number 2, look at your budget. I'm letting that sink in. Look at your budget, guys. We are all restricted to a budget if we like it or we don't like it. A lot of us don't think we have a budget, but what we don't want to end up with is more month than money. So basically, my brother gave me that one. We don't want to run out of money before the end of the month. And so if you don't have a budget, that is step 2A. Make a budget. And there are people in this chat right now that you can check out with to find out what your budget is. Misty Metters is here with us today. If you got money conversations you'd like to have about your specific budget, talk to her. So look at your budget, right? And you're going to need some tools to figure out exactly what this dream car is going to cost you. So we just got through step 1, which is don't do it impulsively, and we're waiting 2 weeks. We're going to start writing down things. Step 2 is look at your budget. Here's a good example. You can't see this, but on my screen, I have a $30,000 car with 0 money down, and that car is financed over 72 months. That's 6 years, guys. The payment on that is $516.99 at 4% interest. That's including all the taxes, everything. So, if you're thinking in your mind that, hey, I want to get a sport utility, I think I should get one for about $30,000 just because it's a random number that you came up with, and then you go to the dealership and make that purchase, your number should be around $500 a month. So think about that. Does that fit into your budget? When you look at saving for the kids, putting money away every month, buying groceries, paying the gas and electric bill, paying the mortgage, life insurance, every detail of your life needs to be planned out. Okay? So I'm going to help you with your budget too, because you may not realize my next point. I had a client last week that was talking to me about their car that they've enjoyed no payments on for about 2 years now. However, when they showed up here, she had some repair bills that she shared with me. She said, hey, I'm going to keep this car. I have no payments on it. I just put $3,500 into this car so that I can keep it running and maintain it. And I was like, okay, you haven't had a payment. Let's divide that by 12 months. So we put $3,500 in the calculator, divided by 12, and that equals $291.67. So in reality, she has not had a car without a payment because she's had to maintain it. She's had to service it to keep it running. And all of us, we just don't like to think about things that aren't in front of us. Like if it's not a bill that's being sent to you in the mail, it doesn't mean that you're not paying on it every month in some form or fashion. Tires cost money, brakes cost money, alignments, we hit potholes and we got to get that fixed. You need to start keeping track of those things so that you can estimate how much you're spending on your current car every year. And it's easy to do. If you need help with it, give me a call. I'll help walk you through it. So thinking about your budget was step 2. If you don't have a budget, I urge you to make one so that way you don't break that budget when you purchase this dream car that we're talking about. All right? Okay, so we've gotten through, don't do it impulsively. Give yourself 2 weeks to process the information. 2, make a budget and look at that budget and dissect it. Okay, so that's step 2. Step 3, let's get into the fun stuff. So you've heard me talk about this before, wants versus needs. Why do we need leather in the car, but we only want to retire one day? So don't let this dream car crush your other dreams that you have in your life. You understand? So like if the dream car is taken away from your vacation money that you've been planning for 2 years, then we need to reassess the budget, and we may be looking at something that's a little bit more expensive than we should be spending, and because it's taken away from things like kids' college fund or whatever the case may be. You don't want this one dream to just push all the other dreams out of the way. And then it starts to, the problem compounds because, you get this dream, it pushes things out of the way, you do it impulsively, and then you're stuck with it for 5 years. So that was step number 3. Deciding your wants versus your likes. We can call that a fun thing by calling it desired equipment, okay? Desired equipment. Like, people want to know what they should have in their next car, and I like to ask them, what do you like about the car you're driving right now? Hopefully your answer isn't nothing. I like nothing. It's not even running. That's a bad place to be. But think about that. What do I like about my current car? I like that it has enough room for the kids. I like that it has a 3rd seat. I like that it has all-wheel drive. I like that it has a backup camera, and then think about it and think about what you're missing, like things in your mind that would make your life better that you find yourself complaining about quite often. For me, in my old Suburban that I have to pull my camper, is the backup camera. That thing is so big, and the next truck or SUV that we purchase, which will probably be 5 or 6 years down the line, I'm going to make sure it has a backup camera in it. So think about that, and then write those things down. So thinking about your desired equipment is step number 3, and do your best to separate the wants from the needs. You do that by making sure that your wants don't push your other long-term goals out of the way. Because if you're having to spend more money to get some of the wants that you want on a car, and it prevents you from going to Mexico for the weekend or spring break, or it prevents you from investing in your life insurance or whatever the case may be, then you gotta sit down and look in the mirror and ask yourself if you really want it, or is it just something that you need? Okay, that was step number 3. Step number 4, ran right into that. It seems as though I kind of went right over what I was talking about. All you need versus all you want. So I kind of did 2 steps in one. Step 3 was desired equipment. Step 4 was separating the needs and wants. So I kind of did that all in one lump thing, but you can separate them out if you like. All right, step 5. Think about how this purchase impacts you over the next 5 years. We go out and purchase cars, guys, on a Saturday with reckless abandon. We have no idea how this payment is going to dictate our life for the next 5 years. Heard me say it earlier, $30,000 car for 6 years is $516.99 per month. If you multiply $516.99 times 72, it equals $37,223. So you're paying about $4,100 in interest over the life of the loan of that car. This will impact your life. Just because we can afford that $516 a month today, you have to be able to forecast what your life's going to look like for the next 5 years when you make a major purchase like this, which just seems to be lost. Like, cars seem to be like cell phones. They should be looked upon as a house purchase, but people typically make them like a cell phone purchase. We go in, we get it bought with little thought to how it's going to affect us for the next 5 years. So that's point number 5. Think about how it's going to affect you, and make sure you don't get uncomfortable during that thought process. When you're thinking $516 a month, oh, I'm good right now. Oh, but I got that job change coming up, or my contract's coming due, or I got another kid that's going to be driving. Or look at your situation. Here's a good way to do it. Like, look at your other car in your garage. Like, if you're a 2-car family and you're about to spend $516 on one car, but that other car is not going to make it for the length of that loan, we're going to run into some issues. Then if you start going back up the ladder of the things I talked about today, those wants and likes, they can impact all kinds of stuff. Like, I've seen it over and over again where people are like, we can get this car, and then hopefully the next car will make it. We shouldn't leave this all up to hope, guys. We should be planning this out, making educated money decisions when it comes to your car. So that way, when we have this excess money because we're doing cars and purchasing them the right way, we can actually push that money over into different places like investing. That's where I want you to be. So a wise man told me once, you got all this money in excess, right? People are thinking, I'm going to pay the car off, I'm going to keep it a long period of time and have no payments. Money finds a place to go when you don't have it budgeted, booked, earmarked, whatever the case may be. It finds a place to go. It finds emergencies. It finds sick puppies. My dogs have cost us, my wife could post it in the comments, probably $500 this year of excess money because one had a thorn in his finger and something. But you're sitting on $500 and it will find a place to get out of your pocket and into an emergency like that. So make sure you're planning for that. All right. So I wanted to go recap this. So planning your next dream car, 5 steps to doing it. Don't do it impulsively. Give yourself 2 weeks to think about it and process all the information that come in 2 through 5. Number 2 is look at your budget. And 2A is make a budget if you don't have one. 3, picking the desired equipment. The desired equipment. Making that list of desired equipment that you want to have. And you're going to do that by looking at the current car that you have and writing down the things that you like. And then also on the right-hand side, write down the things that you would like to have. Step number 4, really decide and circle the things that you need versus you want in the car. Because those things, I'll tell you, I'll give you a good example. Sunroof and leather. They, if you put, they're usually around $2,500, $3,000. So we go from $516 a month to $33,000, $567 a month. So in real dollars, if you have to have sunroof and leather, it's going to probably cost you about $50 a month or more in payment. And then we start looking at, okay, we're running out of money before month. So think about it. Circle those things that you know are just likes and compare them to the needs. The ones that intersect are fantastic because they do fit in the budget and we have the money to spend on it, and it's not going to derail the vacation or derail the investing. So that was step 4. And number 5, really put some thought into how this is going to affect you over the next 5 or 6 years, because your car is a decision you make today, but it will impact you for 6 years. And that's just a fact. So I'm hoping this was helpful for you today. You can find me on YouTube if you'd like to go through some of the other videos I have. I have in there car loan stuff, any type of information like that you'd like to know about cars. Feel free to post it in the comments, and I hope this was helpful for you today to change your thinking about how you're looking at your next dream car. All right, guys, I'm changing too. We can do dream cars. We just need to plan them. So I hope you guys have a great Monday. Stay safe on the slippery roads today. And if you have any questions, please give me a call. I'm Ronnie Haskins, Auto Search USA.